This is a space brief. How to get rich in space. Several companies have tried to raise enough capital to mine asteroids. They have so far failed. The reasons for this are many, but not least because it is still very expensive to get to space. I'm going to tell you about an untapped space resource that, with proper backing, could make us immediately rich. Space mining. Not asteroids, not yet anyway. Not the moon, too expensive and hard to get to. Leave that to the billionaires. I'm talking about orbital mining. I want to start a company. Let's call it Orbital Mining Unlimited. Here are my calculations. Every kilogram in orbit costs a minimum of $2,719 if you send it up on a Falcon 9 at current prices. This is currently the cheapest way to get to space. There are, according to the European Space Agency, 3,200 satellites in orbit that are no longer functional. There are also 34,000 pieces of debris in Earth orbit that are greater than 10 centimeters in size. Most of this, according to the orbital debris trackers at NASA, are within 2,000 kilometers from the surface of the Earth. 95% of the mass put into orbit is now non-functional, and most of it will stay in orbit for hundreds of years. Unless you jump on this space opportunity. The United States has 3,999 large trackable pieces of space debris in orbit. Old satellites, rocket stages, etc. Russia has 3,961 trackable pieces of space debris. China has 3,475. This debris is a hazard to all spacefaring nations. The Kessler syndrome is named for astrophysicist Donald Kessler, who in 1978 predicted our current situation and the catastrophic consequences that could result. How can we make a fortune with our new space company? Let's go to the United Nations Office of Outer Space Affairs. Is there an Office of Inner Space Affairs? Anyway, why not just Space Affairs? Convince them to promote an international agreement that you will be paid $250 for every kilogram of space debris you remove from orbit. The total mass of trackable space debris was estimated in 2017 as being about 7,500 metric tons. That's 7,500,000 kilograms. At $250 per kilogram, that creates a market value of $1.875 billion. Let's look at the largest pieces of debris first. Invisat. At 8 metric tons, it is worth a cool $2 million at $250 per kilogram. But you are not going to deorbit it. There are hundreds of nations that would participate in space exploration and colonization if they could afford it. We are going to use the materials from these satellites. We will start with the B330 orbital habitat. It should be cheap. Bigelow Aerospace is folded. They wanted $500 million. We'll offer them $200 million. We'll need $90 million for a Falcon Heavy to put our habitat in orbit. Then we'll need $57 million to get our crew of 5 to the station. Now we're in for about $347 million so far. Let's get sponsors like Luxembourg, the United Arab Emirates, etc. And combined with crowdfunding, shoot for $500 million to start. We will use satellite docking and repositioning technology, like that from Astroscale, to dock the satellites and bring them to our space station, the B330. We will then have our team disassemble the satellite, put it through a grinder and powderizer, and 3D print parts for our real project. Partnering with a company like Asgardia or the Gateway Foundation to put up a real space colony. We can rent out room on our station for scientific research and industrial development. We will start making low attenuation fiber optic cable with the help of companies like Made in Space. We will start printing human replacement organs from the patient's own stem cells. Then we will use our assets to develop a space corps for rescue, exploration, and colonization. Going on to put a station at L4 so we can mine 2010 TK7, an asteroid that's in permanent orbit there. After that, the Moon, Phobos, Deimos, even Callisto in time. Who's with me?